My name is Andy Goldfarb, a graduate from UC Davis of Animal Science and Zoology, but even before that time, I grew up in San Diego, so I was always going to the zoo, always wanted to be with animals, especially the cats. Cats are definitely a distinct passion for me, and I've totally focused my whole career on working with big cats. In 1985, I got a job at Marine World Africa USA, which is in Redwood City, or was back then, and I worked on a position where it was called Tiger Island. And that job was basically spending all day hanging out with tigers, playing with them, going swimming with them, all kinds of stuff. It was actually a lot of fun. It definitely came at a price every now and then, because when you work with big cats, they are a wild animal.
And when you're in the water and you're wrestling, they're gonna get carried away sometimes. They're real excited, and they'll, especially a young cat, when they bite you, sometimes they're gonna put a big hole in your arm or something like that. It hurts your feelings more than anything else, because you've been with them since they were little, and it's also a nice reminder that they're gonna, stay a wild cat. They're never gonna be a pet.
Andy's antics are a highlight for anyone visiting Marine World Africa in San Francisco. His playmates, 11 Bengal tigers, kid around like oversized house cats, except for at least one difference.
A lot of people are surprised that the tigers love the water. Every day people come and go, "Oh, I thought cats hate the water." And we just say, not all cats. It gets as high as 115 degrees Fahrenheit in India, and if you're a tiger wearing a fur coat, you got to get in the water. And they have adapted to the water, through the years, thousands of years, as a great means of cooling off. And then the youngsters love it because they can play.
During that time in California, it was tough because you try to get the word out about what's going on with tigers in the wild and how fast they're being wiped out. And most often, tigers are being wiped out from poaching, number one, and then habitat destruction, number two. And it got to a point where you're talking to people and telling them, and I've been doing this for a long time, and in that time period in my life, I have been thinking that we're going to lose them in under 20 years. That's always kind of what we were telling everybody. And that's not necessarily the case, but definitely the populations of tigers have dwindled quite a bit. The Bengal tiger in India, Nepal, Bangladesh has had the highest population. It used to be, there's 3,000 of those tigers out there. Then the reality set in that, censuses have been kind of rigged to look better than they were. So really there are maybe only 1,700 Bengal tigers left. And that's only one subspecies of tiger. The other tigers, like the Siberian and Sumatran, if there were 500 of them left, that's incredible.
I've known Andy Goldfarb most of his life, and when I heard about the grant challenge, I thought this is the opportunity I need to really do something that is a little bit more of a global endeavor rather than just what I've produced with my students and the work that I've done on stage. I've been working in film and video and television since 92, 93, and I just hadn't really thought about creating a documentary about saving any particular endangered species until 2009, when I came up with the idea for Animals Alive. And Animals Alive is it's a great show. It's grassroots. It teaches children basically respect what's around you, enjoy what's around you, pay attention. Please don't litter. But we need to move beyond that now. I was disgusted with David Novak, the CEO of Yum Brands, when Greenpeace confronted him about the purchase of packaging for Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, whatever they call it now, from Asian pulp and paper. Asian pulp and paper is destroying the Isle of Sumatra. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 years there are no tigers on the Isle of Sumatra and they wipe out that entire species. It's unfortunate, but that's another thing that Andrew said. We're surprised that there are any tigers left in the wild. So it's a good thing. But in 2008, when the Global Tiger Initiative began, there were about 5,000, maybe 5,500 tigers living in the wild. Now there are less than 3,200. So we are not doubling. And the idea of T times 2 is doubling the number of tigers in the wild by the year 2022. Well, at the time, that number should have been about 10,000 to 11,000. Right now we're at 3,200, and we can't sit here and say, oh, okay, well, we'll just make it 6,400. That'll be the goal. And then what happens when those 200 are gone? We make it 6,000? That's the goal? No. I think that T times 2 needs to be revised, and it needs to be called T10K. And the reason it needs to be called T10K is because we need to set a firm goal. We need to revise. And the goal needs to be 10,000 tigers in the wild by 2022. That's what I'm going to be pushing by the time we get to the second feature. I'm planning on 3 parts. This is the first part. This is the educational part. This is the informative part. This is to get the general public riled, to get them educated, and to get them motivated. After creating Year with a Festival, I know I can upset people, and I know that I can either inflame and infuriate, or I can lift and motivate, and that's what I hope to do with this piece. When the other pieces come out in 2018, 2019, they will be updates, and hopefully we will see improvement in the numbers. I know that censuses for tigers are a little difficult to obtain correct numbers. There are many conflicting news reports out there. From the ones I've seen from 2010, from 2011, some say the numbers are up in India, some say the numbers are down in India, but that's just the one place. We've also got Siberia to worry about. We have Sumatra to worry about, Myanmar, Bhutan, Cambodia, Thailand. These are all places where the tiger numbers need to be boosted, and if illegal poaching continues, these animals are going to get wiped out. We certainly don't want to, trash Chinese medicine, but there are some things that you no longer need tiger parts for. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things: shooting a century, tiger penis soup. There's some ridiculous stuff going on out there. But it's, tiger parts are very popular in Asia, especially among the wealthy, and everyone knows that Asia is becoming a very, very rich place. Anyway, I'm looking forward to doing this, but as Andy said, can't be done without money. Gotta have money. And if saving the remaining tigers in the wild isn't grant worthy, then I don't know what is.